Now in last lecture we are discussing about the single pass assembler, two pass assembler designing. Now we are again take a overview of that two process because there are only 12 students were available when we are conducting the last lecture. So we are repeat both points today again, and then we can continue to the next one. Okay. Now in the case of single pass assembler, we discussed about the two types of the passes which are required to perform the translation process of assembly program. Here in case of the single pass assembler or two pass assembler, single pass assembler in the sense all the steps, that is we consider there are two main phases. One is nothing but the analysis of a source program, and second one is nothing but the synthesis of a target program. Okay, on analysis, when we consider the analysis phase, we need to consider or we create that particular translator can create different data structures which are required to perform the translation in the target program. Here, in case of the single pass assembler, we can have one problem that is called as the forward reference problem, which is handled with the help of back patching method, and it is also discussed in a previous lecture. Okay, now when we design the single pass assembler, now what task should be performed by the single pass assembler? Now here we need to scan the entire source program once and convert into the object program or object code, which is known as the single pass assembler. Now that is all this process will be considering scanning the program and converting into machine code can be takes place in the single pass. Here we have different types of data structure will be created, and then this data structure used to perform the translation, used to create the translation in the target code. Okay, here our input to the single pass assembler is nothing but the source program. Then next thing is nothing but to we need one data structure that is called as the location counter. Now which keep the track of each instruction location. That is, every instruction has its memory address, and such a representation can be considered using location counter. Now here the tables which are created like machine operation table that indicates the symbolic mnemonics for each instruction, and its length, that is 2, 4 or 6 bytes, that is the machine operation table. We call it as a MOT. Second thing is nothing but table for pseudo operation table, that is POT table, which indicates the symbolic mnemonics and actions to be taken for each pseudo operation in pass 1. For example, we consider the add instruction. Okay, now that add instruction will be consider the corresponding operation, that is addition of two numbers. We need to consider add as a symbolic name into the pseudo operation table, and corresponding action will be represented, which task will be handled with the corresponding mnemonic. Next thing is nothing but the literal table. We discussed the literals in the previous lecture also, how we can define or how we can represent that literal. Syntax will be given there. If our source program contains the literal, we need to process that literal. For that purpose, we consider that literal table. Now here literal tables which is encountered in your program, then it will be added into the literal table. Corresponding literal table will be generated. Then next thing is nothing but the symbol table, which contains the name of the symbols, that is the mnemonics which is used in your program, and corresponding action will be added, or the symbol will be added into the symbol table, and the corresponding value of that symbol is also added into the symbol table. All these things should be considered in case of the scanning of the program. After scanning of the program, we have to create a particular intermediate representation. Intermediate representation will be converted in the form of target code. Okay, this is nothing but the complete process of single pass assembler. We have only one pass of the assembler, translator. We use mnemonic table, which contains the value of mnemonics, that is the symbols, and corresponding operation codes, which is stored in case of the mnemonic table. This table is used by the single pass assembler. Source code, that is the assembly program, is the input to the single pass assembler. Then single pass assembler creates the symbol table, creates literal table, and creates table of incomplete instructions, which is the useful for backpatching method. Okay, and finally target code will be generated with the help of single pass assembler. This is the complete process of single pass assembler. Now when we design the two pass assembler, we require two passes. There are two different passes will be considered, that is pass 1 and pass 2. What task should be performed in case of the pass 1 and in case of the pass 2? We consider the pass 1, which separate the symbols, mnemonic, opcodes, and operand fields. Those are considered in first pass. Okay, all these are things are separated from the given instruction. Now build the symbol table, literal table, okay, and table of incomplete instruction also. Then next it perform the LC processing, that is the location counter will be updated for each corresponding instruction. And lastly, construct the intermediate representation. This intermediate representation is the most important output from the pass 1, and it is given to that of the pass 2 as the input. Okay, this intermediate representation is considered output of the pass 1 and it is given as input to the pass 2. Now what happens corresponding to the intermediate representation? The first pass create all these data structure, all these tables, all the tables are used in pass 2 corresponding to the intermediate representation converted in the form of machine instruction. Okay, now it obtains the machine opcode corresponding to the mnemonic from mnemonic table. हा जो mnemonic table या ठिकाणी बनवलेला असतो त्याचे मधले mnemonics म्हणजे सिम्बॉल्स आणि करस्पॉन्डिंग ऑपरेशन कोड फेच करून काय केलं जाईल त्या ठिकाणी मशीन कोड किंवा मशीन इन्स्ट्रक्शन त्या ठिकाणी फॉर्म केली जाते. इट ऑब्टेन्स द ऍड्रेस ऑफ मेमरी ऑपरेंड फ्रॉम द सिम्बॉल टेबल. मेमरी ऑपरेंड किंवा मेमरी ऍड्रेसेस जे आहेत ते ऍड्रेसेस त्या ठिकाणी सिम्बॉल टेबलला स्टोअर असणार आहेत, तिथनं ते मेमरी ऍड्रेसेस घेतले जातील. नाव करस्पॉन्डिंग टू द मेमोनिक. And it constructs the machine instruction by processing the intermediate code generated by the pass 1. Okay, this intermediate representation, it is the most important part to the pass 2. Okay, now next thing, we consider the complete process and using this particular representation. Now we can see this pass 1. In this pass 1 we can use the mnemonic table. This mnemonic table is created at the before the pass 1, that is when scanning of the program will be takes place. The source code is the assembly program is input to the pass 1 and corresponding mnemonic table. We combine these two things. First pass create the symbol table, literal table, and a table of incomplete instruction to handle the forward references. And the output for this pass 1 is nothing but the intermediate code. This is the input to pass 2, and also it pass 2 can use the symbol table, literal table, which is created by the pass 1, and it generates the target code. Corresponding target code will be created. This is nothing but the pass 2 process or a 2 pass assembler translation process. Okay, now accordingly we can consider 3 pass assembler, 4 pass assembler, that is nothing but the multi-pass assembler. In this passes we only separate some tasks performed in the pass, that is which phases are included in the first pass. There are other phases can be considered into the second pass. Accordingly next will be considered. Okay, here we design up to 2 pass assembler. Here corresponding differences will be considered in the previous lecture also. We can consider different types of factors, and according to that factor we can declare or we can differentiate that single pass and multi-pass assembler. Now we consider only the 1 pass assembler and 2 pass assembler up till. Okay, now next thing is nothing but the most important part used in our assembly instruction, assembly program, that is nothing but advanced assembler directives. Now what is that advanced assembler directives? In this case there are 3 advanced assembler directives used in the assembly language. Okay, कोणते कोणते 3 directives आहेत? Now the first of all we see one by one. First directive is nothing but the origin. Now we can see the assembler directives, that is first assembler directive is nothing but the start, and second one is will be considered as the end. That assembler directive does not require the LC processing, that is memory addresses will not given to that directive. Okay, now in case of the advanced assembler directives, they are also a type of directives. They are also does not require any location counter processing or LC processing. Now here what task should be done with the help of that directive, that is they tells the assembler which steps or which action to be taken place when translation will be performed during the translation of the particular assembly language. Okay, now in this case first of all we consider the first advanced assembler directives, that is nothing but the origin. According to the name of these directives it can work, that is it tells the assembler where to load the instruction and data into the memory. Here we consider the syntax for this particular first, that is origin, and corresponding value is given here. This value is nothing but a particular expression or it is a particular constant value. Expression contains a constant value and the corresponding symbol which is already defined. Okay, this expression, that is we consider suppose a plus 5. A is the mnemonic which is already defined in your assembly program and it has a particular memory location. Plus 5 we can consider we add the memory address of A with constant value 5. We consider one number. Okay. Accordingly, we consider this particular expression. Now, this origin, insert the next instruction after the origin at this particular value. That is, it tells the assembler where to load the instruction and data into the memory. Next instruction, which is the next instruction. Accordingly, that next instruction will be assigned this particular value to the given instruction. Okay. Now here value can be a constant of a symbol or a symbolic expression. When this statement is found in the program, location counter is reset to a specified value. Okay. We identify this particular origin in the given program. Our location counter value should be updated with the corresponding value of origin. This value will be processed. Now we can see the example for the corresponding. That is, here we can see that is start 100. That means our location counter will be given here. The assembly instruction can be considered start 100. Start, it is our one of the directives, and when we consider this particular start directive at this location, we need to represent the first instruction at the location 100. Okay. पहिली instruction जी आहे ती कोणत्या लोकेशनला कन्सिडर केली जाईल तुमची? ह्या 100 लोकेशनला रिप्रेझेंट केली जाते, because we can have a start with 100. This directive also tells the starting location of your instruction in the machine language. Here L1, it is a label, and this label does not require additional declaration. It can assign the address on which address location it will be used, where that location counter used on this particular instruction, and the instruction address will be given that 100. So location counter address should be considered as a 100. Okay, this address value should be represented in assembly instruction as 100. Now in the next case, that is add a register C, it is the next instruction. Now it contains 100, or it is stored at the location 100. After that, all we can see this origin 200. Origin, it is the advanced assembler directive, and we can pass one constant value as 200. This 200 location will be assigned to the next instruction, and the next instruction in our code is nothing but CDS1. C, which is the symbolic name, DS is nothing but declare storage, is a declarative statement, and here 1 represents the corresponding memory words assigned to that particular variable C. Now this instruction or the address of this variable or the symbol C is given to that of 200. Why this is? Because we can use here origin. Okay, origin, it is the advanced assembler directive, and which assigns this particular memory location to the given next instruction. If we don't use this particular origin, then the sequence, that is 101, and sequentially we can get 102 as the address of this C. But we can use this origin at this location. That's why the memory address will be changed for this particular statement. Again, we can have next statement as origin L1 plus 2. The address of L1 plus constant value 2. We consider this expression, that is 100 plus 2. Next instruction will be stored at this particular address, which address is given there, L1, that is 100, and 100 plus 2, that is 102, which is nothing but the address of next location reset by the origin statement. Okay, this is nothing but the task used by the origin, which is the advanced assembler directive. Okay, now you are understood this particular concept with the help of this particular example. Now next thing we consider here, that is EQU. EQ in the sense, that is equality. We can use two statements to declare the variables, that is a declarative statement. This advanced assembler directive is also called as a declarative directive or declarative statement. Okay, we declare a particular symbol. For that purpose we can use DS and DC. DS is nothing but a declare storage, and DC can be used to declare the constant. Okay, for that purpose we can use DS and DC. But when we use DS and DC, we require the LC processing. So what happened when we use the EQ as a declaring a particular symbol? Now this directive allows the programmer to define the symbol and specify their value. Okay, this is the most important thing. What task should be done by the EQ advanced assembler directive. Okay, now in this case, when we use this EQ, we declare a particular symbolic constant. Why? I can say that is the symbolic constant. Actually, we declare the constant as well as a non-constant value also. Which value that should be used in that particular representation. Okay, here we use this particular syntax. EQU corresponding value will be passed here. That is, value can be a constant or it is an expression which involves the constant and any other symbol which is already defined. Like that, in the given example, we consider this type of expression also. L1 which is already defined at the location 100 and 2, that is the constant value. We consider such an expression when we declare this value in case of the EQ directive. Now after that we consider the main difference between EQ and DS DC. These are the two statements used in the declaration of a particular symbol. What is that difference is, that is the statement in LC processing is not required in case of the EQ statement. There is no required to perform the LC processing when we use the EQ advanced assembler directives. But when we use the DS, that is declared storage, and DC, that is declared constant, we require the LC processing. That is, we have a memory addresses. We need to update the memory addresses after this particular statement. Okay. Now EQ statement does not require such LC processing, where DSDC can update the LC according to the length of a given instruction. We can see this example. We can use here move RA register B. We declare L1 symbol at the location because it is the label. That's why the memory address will be considered corresponding to the symbol is nothing but 100. Now next one is nothing but add A register comma C. It is the next instruction. Then origin 200. Origin will be given there. That is the next instruction can change its address to the 200. That means LC can be updated from 101 to 200. म्हणजे पुढची instruction sequentially काय असते ते 102 असते, परंतु origin यूज झाल्यामुळे काय झालं आता ते LC ची व्हॅल्यू अपडेट झाली 200 ला. Now we declare the one symbol, that is the C. The address will be assigned to C is nothing but 200. We use here DS. Okay. After that we can declare the variable back, and we can use advanced assembler directive EQU, and the value is given there L1. L1 is nothing but L1 should be considered as 100. Okay, this is the expression only, and this expression can be declared at this point. The value for this L1 is considered as 100. Here back variable will be declared storage as 100. Okay, त्याची जी व्हॅल्यू असेल, बॅक व्हेरिएबलची जी व्हॅल्यू असेल ती किती असणार आहे या ठिकाणी 100 व्हॅल्यू त्याला असाइन केली जाईल. आफ्टर दॅट वी कॅन कन्सिडर ओरिजिन L1 प्लस 2. L1 ची 100 व्हॅल्यू आहे प्लस 2 म्हणजे 102. पुढचं लोकेशन काउंटर अपडेट होईल 102 ला, म्हणजे ओरिजिन नंतरचं येणारं जे स्टेटमेंट आहे त्याला व्हॅल्यू किती मिळाली तुम्हाला 102 ही व्हॅल्यू मिळाली. ओके, दॅट इज nothing but the advanced assembler directive EQ. It declares the variable back, but it does not consider the LC processing. Okay, जर EQ ला LC processing ची गरज पडली असती तर पुढचा ऍड्रेस जो असाइन झाला असता तो किती ऍड्रेस असाइन झाला असता 200 नंतर 201 हा ऍड्रेस पुढे या ठिकाणी EQ ला असाइन झाला असता. बट with the help of this EQ, back does not allocate such memory addresses. It does not require the LC processing. Okay, when we can declare that particular variable back. बघा इथे back ची व्हॅल्यू यूज केली इथे. नाउ दिस व्हॅल्यू ऑफ द बॅक व्हेरिएबल शुड बी कन्सिडर ऍज 100. त्याची जी व्हॅल्यू आहे डिक्लेअर झाल्यानंतर ती किती कन्सिडर होणार आहे तुम्हाला या ठिकाणी. नाउ वी कॅन सी हियर that is we are exit from this point, particular point, that is back variable which is used at this location, and we can consider 100 its corresponding value in the machine instruction. Okay, that is 100 can be assigned with the help of this EQ talk EQ advanced directives, which is represented with the help of L1. This is nothing but the advanced assembler directive EQ. Okay, now next thing we can consider next directive, that is LTORC. LTORC in the sense literal processing which is required in case of the assembly instruction. Now what happen what happens when we consider this LTORC directives is used in your assembly language. Now actually we can consider the different types of literals in your assembly instruction, in your assembly program. Literals represent that is equal to, literal value should be represented with the help of equal to, that is, and we can consider here suppose single quote. We can pass the value here, we can consider that is 5. Okay, this is nothing but the literal. Equal to and corresponding value should be considered as the literal value in your assembly instruction. Now LTORC statement allows the programmer to specify where the literal should be placed in the memory. ओके. LTORC स्टेटमेंट यूज का केलं जातं, तुमचं जे काही लिटरलची व्हॅल्यू असेल ते मेमरीमध्ये ते कुठे पुट करायचं किंवा मेमरीमध्ये कुठल्या लोकेशनला त्याला इन्सर्ट करायचं. Now that memory location will be represented with the help of this LTORC statement. Okay. Now in case by default when we consider the processing of this particular literal, that is when we we don't consider the LTORC statement in your particular assembly program or in source program, then when we identify the end statement, after identifying this particular end statement, all literals will be processed. That means when program is end, at that time our literal should be processed at the end of your source program, and their memory locations will be updated according to that after end statement. Okay. Now, but sometimes it is required to place literal in other locations in object program also. We need to insert their literal values in your object program in middle. Okay, not after the end, but we require that address location at the middle of the given machine program. For that purpose, we can consider this LTORC statement. That is when we declare the literals, at the same time we require that literal memory addresses. For that purpose, we consider such a things. We consider such a LTORC assembler directive. Not at every LTORC and end statement, it allocates memory address to the literal by creating a literal pool. Literal pool in the sense it is one of the table, and this table contains the corresponding literal and a literal address. Corresponding address should be assigned to that. That is when we identify this particular LTORC statement, and when we identify end statement, in between we can consider the LTORC. Immediately literal pool will be created, and some of the literal which are used after LTORC statement, then there is the particular statement, there is a end statement. After end statement, that defined literal will be added into the literal pool. Now the literal pool or a table contains all literals used in the program from beginning or since last LTORC statement. That means we can create that literal pool or literal table which contains all the values of literals and corresponding addresses. Now here we can consider literal table or literal pool contains the two fields, that is literal and corresponding address. Here awareness of a different literal pools is maintained by auxiliary table. That table is called as a pool tab. That means we can use more than once. That is, we consider more than one LTORC statement in your program. Now corresponding that number of literal pool or literal table will be generated. If we can use two times LTORC statement, then there are two literal pools will be created. If we use 3 times LTORC statement, there are 3 literal pools or 3 literal table will be created corresponding to the literals which are declared before that LTORC. Okay. Now all these literal pools or all the different types of literal tables are combined into a single table. That single table or maintained with the help of single table. That single table is called as nothing but the pool tab. Okay. Now pool tab contains the literal number of starting literal of each literal pool. In case each literal pool, we can consider the starting number of that literal pool, and that starting number is added into the pool tab. Okay, that is nothing but the common data structure, common table corresponding to the different literal pools or different literal tables. That is nothing but the LTORC statement which is used to perform or which is used to process the literal in your program. Now after that we consider this particular example corresponding to the given literal pool. We consider this example which contains different literals where we will be used. At the first statement we can consider equal to 5 as a literal. Second literal is nothing but equal to 1, which is given to the statement number 6. That is statement number 1 and statement number 6 contains the literal value. And after that, here we can consider the LTORC statement. We see this, then LTORC statement is identified, immediately literals were processed. That is equal to 5, which is given to the memory address 104, and equal to 1, which is given to the memory address 105. These values are added immediately to the given literal table, okay, or literal pool. In this case, here we consider these particular things in case of that literal processing, that is the LTORC. After that, we can consider some statement of assembly instruction, and at this location, that is statement number 14, we get one more literal here, that is equal to 1. And after that, we immediately find out the end statement. There is no LTORC statement. That's why this particular one is processed after end statement. मग त्याची जी memory location आहे, that memory address is assigned to this particular literal equal to 1 is 100 sorry, 110, it is the end statement memory address, and 111, which is the new address assigned to this particular literal, that is equal to 1. Now this is not considered in case of this particular literal. This literal, this equal to 1 literal is different, and this equal to 1 literal is different. That means statement number 11 and statement number 14 both have different literals. They does not consider as a common value. Okay, we have equal to 1, here we have equal to 1, but both are different. There are two literal pools where we will be created, or two different literal tables will be created, and these two tables are combined into a single table, that is called as the pool tab. Okay, we consider this LTOP statement to process such a literals in your program. Why this processing is required? Because in a particular memory, in a particular machine instruction, we require the addresses of these literals. Now here at this location we require the address for this particular literal equal to 5. Here we can consider 104. We can see this equal to 5 has 104 address, which is used here. We require such a addresses at the same location. For that purpose, we required to perform the LTOP statement, or we use the LTOP statement to process the literals. Okay, these are nothing but the advanced assembler directives, and the corresponding data structures will be used corresponding to that advanced assembler directives. Now next thing we will be discuss, that is the intermediate code representation. We discussed that intermediate representation or intermediate code representation. There are two variants corresponding to that intermediate representation. We discussed both things in next lecture. Now today we can stop here.